Well, hello and good. That doesn't work on YouTube.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
Good part of day in your region.
Exactly. Okay, so hello and welcome to the Fortnightly Frontier. This is episode 3.10. I'm Meyer, and this guy over to here is
Darionator.
Darionator. Okay, cool. I just love saying your name like that, man. I don't know why. It's just Darionator.
Well, it's the best thing about me, the name.
Okay. Don't sell yourself short.
Episode 10 of season 3.
Yes.
Man, it's been quite a lot of very unpopular shows so far.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, I don't watch them.
exactly. So, shall we talk about what we're supposed to talk about, which
Sure.
is Star Citizen.
Star Citizen, okay. All right, then.
2.4 is on the PTU, and are you part? Well, of course you are part of the PTU, and I'm part of the PTU.
Yeah.
No longer is the 2.4 under the protective blanket of the avocados and the NDAs. It is now available for subscribers as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which is cool. I mean, I know some people are like, I wouldn't say a lot of people were. I was actually surprised that not many people were up in arms by the fact that people were basically not necessarily paying to enter the PTU, but that was a thing that was happening, Like, then again, I mean, if people complained on the forums, you wouldn't be able to tell because you can't
People
really.
complain all the time.
Yeah, but on Reddit, for instance, like, I haven't seen a single post of people complaining, not even one that's been downvoted to oblivion. So
True.
it's all-
I think people would be complaining if CIG was actually selling spots in the Evocati.
Right. I mean, like, yeah, spots in Evocati makes sense. If they were selling those spots, then yeah, that'd be a bit messed up. But I guess it's also the fact that it was done pretty low key. It was like, okay, well, the Evocati have this. It's now currently also open to subscribers, and they haven't really said anything else apart from that. So it's not like they've been marketing it as such.
No, yeah, exactly, which is good.
Yeah.
Low-level testing should be low-level, not announcing it everywhere,
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah. Do you think the Evocati thing is going to persist for 2.5 and onwards?
I believe so, just because of the legal, all the legislature involved was a lot, and the fact that they
Right.
required so many of your details was also a lot. It's something that could be gone back to and used time and time again, and I think that was the reason for it. I don't think that Evocati was something that was thought up simply for 2.4. So
Right.
I feel,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, I feel like we'll be on call for the next one as well. I don't think because it's a bit much otherwise.
Yeah, and it must have been nice having the servers all to yourself.
Surprisingly, that was not the case. You know that there are a limited amount of servers, and because the Evocati were a hand-selected bunch of people, everybody that got in pretty much was always, it was still rammed. It was still rammed. Like,
Yes, and I suppose the matchmaking makes you go into a server with available spots, not into it won't spin up a brand new server for everyone that joins in, even though there's hardware available.
Exactly. I'm not sure the exact metric, but it's like 99% of Evocati members downloaded most patches and got in. Whereas with other PCU, like PTU patches, not even just like, the odd live build, it's like, people who had that, like, maybe played 2 hours a week, So it's kind of like, there's a reason for doing it because they have the people who want to do it to get in, and they don't have to pay for people who would just download it only to not test it and complain that they have to keep downloading.
Then again, that did happen to me. I think the PTU, the subscriber PTU started with the patch I, or something like that, and then as soon as I was done downloading I, J came out.
That happened to me as well. Yeah, so it even happens to the best of us. Yes.
Yeah, yes, of course, of course.
Yeah.
But what is it now? Is it now on L? Is it?
It is on L, yes, because over the weekend, no changes.
No
So I
changes.
expect M to come through this evening. Well, American evening. By the time
In a
people
few
watch this on
hours.
YouTube,
It's gonna be Z or something.
oh, I think. Well, N. I know you were
What?
joking.
Yes, of course I am.
Yeah.
Is there nothing I don't do that doesn't involve humor?
Hmm.
At least a poor attempt at humor.
Died humor, like dark humor, but not quite.
Mm-hmm. Yes, now it's L, and it's got a few interesting bugs, and it's got a lot of very interesting additions over 2.3. Oh, I like it.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I like
Yeah,
it.
I mean, were we able to talk about the features last time?
No, because it was
Ah.
still under the avocado
Oh
thing.
yes, oh yes. I recall now. There was a great big juicy avocado right next to me.
Yeah, over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.4 brings around clothes. Lots of clothes.
Yep. Clothing options.
Clothing options and revamped missions in regards to the whole outlaw and protector
Mm-hmm.
thing.
So that no longer is there like like a cut and dried outlaw or protected gear. It's kind of like you can dress up as whatever you want to dress up as, and if you don't want to dress up in the armor, then you can go ahead and just wear the skin tight flight suits. And so it's like you're wearing nothing at all.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
those are very flattering.
Yes, they're stupid and sexy.
Especially the white ones. Those really bring out the curves.
Yeah. Another thing that came out was also jetpacks. So before you,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it took him until L to give the jetpacks to armor.
Yeah.
Before, if you were wearing one of the armors, be it Marine or Outlaw, and you went out onto the landing pad and walked off, oh,
Bye bye.
good luck to you, because you'll just be drifting off very slowly into wherever you were pointed at.
Yeah.
That actually happened to me once, and I was able to hitch a ride from someone. They just, we talked in chat, and I was, telling them where I was, and because there is no HUD, you can't scan for people when they are outside of ships.
Yeah.
So you really need to visually find them, and it took about 10 minutes for that person to find me and maneuver very slowly into position. I was able to get into their Super Hornet, and all was well.
That's pretty
and
cool.
then I went into a flight suit. But yes, actually, we were talking about this, you and I was talking with other people, that actually sort of kind of made sense.
But the suits, yeah, not having EVA gear.
Yeah, at least the heavy ones. You wouldn't want any part of the heavy armor to be compromised by having jetpack stuff. So you want it to be all armor, and it would actually, it kind of made sense to me that that suit wouldn't have EVA. So if you wanted to go EVA, you would need to put on something else. Just like in Squadron 42, you would have specialized suits for firefighters and what were those flight deck attendants on in Idrises and stuff like that on carriers. Yeah, they have specialized uniforms and suits. So yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah, I mean, perhaps in the future, once they get everything kind of like ironed out, who knows? I think maybe perhaps basic EVA might be a necessity, but
well, mag boots definitely.
Oh
yeah.
Yes, yeah. So if you have mag boots, though, do you think you should be allowed to jump?
Only if you turn them off.
Aha. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Or maybe there will be special sensors in the soles that would detect when the person is attempting to jump and turn off the magnets when they're jumping. So, because it is the 30th century, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, although in that case, if you were to jump, then what's gonna pull you back down if you've jumped and you are relying solely on the
Yeah,
magnets?
exactly. You would jump and then you would detach from the surface you were walking on and would need to be aimed at another surface if you wanted to then hit
Yeah,
quote unquote solid ground again.
yeah,
Yeah. I think it would have to be done like that. Maybe that's the plan in the long term. Right now, there's still the whole gravity thing. I think is very rudimentary as it is implemented because it is
yeah,
indoors and in ships, but the landing pads are, basically just the gravity is basically just a rectangle about 10-15 meters above the landing pad, and above that there is a hard cutoff for
mm,
gravity.
okay.
Hmm.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, like at the end of the day, it's down to the limitations of the engine and what the people at CIG can like physically and humanly do. But it's nice to
True.
speculate, regardless, though, isn't it? I mean, like,
Yes. Well,
yeah,
and we are. What are we on this show if not to speculate?
exactly. Yes.
What else is new in 2.4?
Okay, so we went over clothing. We went over the new suits and stuff. We went over jetpacks. The new
Oh, there.
AMR. Go on.
I was just gonna say, there is a lag spike generator in the form of a MISC Starfarer.
Ah, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So E-War is live and well. Yeah.
Oh, that they really need to kind of slipstream the whole ship spawning thing. Although I don't think that it's going to be an issue in the final game, because then spawning ship isn't going to be just pushing a button. It's gonna be a process.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It would be a
And
process, yeah.
yes, and it's not gonna be, I want the ship now landed on landing pad. No, it'll give the servers and the clients time to slowly load the entire asset in without grinding everything to a halt.
Yeah, that'd be a natural feeding process to it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I feel because just to make it kind of like a more immersive game in that respect. Anyway, I mean, like nowadays, today, if you were to spawn a ship, basically, you would see its pip and you would see it slowly descend onto the landing pad. To kind of simulate the
Or
fact that it's being called from the valet system, right?
yes,
So
or
yeah.
in the case of the 2.40K onwards, you wouldn't actually see it descend. It just
Stay
stays
hanging.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was one of the CIG members in chat when this started happening, and they said they did that intentionally to make us exercise more. Which is a bold-faced lie, sir.
Indeed, indeed. Exercise your typing fingers as you enter the issue council for the 10th time. What else? I mean, the AMRS Pyroblast plasma shotgun is something that for the ships, not like
for the ships.
Yes,
yes,
it's a
ships
size 3
have
weapon.
shotguns now, which is basically is it a shotgun or is it a flak cannon? Because it does explode on its own when it gets to a certain distance.
It does, but it's made of plasma. I don't know what the where you draw the line there, to be honest. I don't know. I'm not a gun dude.
It's a space gun.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's cool.
And it's very OP right now.
It does a lot of damage if you can hit the target, but good luck if you're fighting like a saber or something. I mean, I don't know how many hits on target you would need, if you're like running with a pyroblast boat yourself, but I tried fighting a saber with another saber with an AMRS boat loadout that I managed to. I didn't do it myself. I nicked it from somebody else, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, borrowed tactically.
With the full intent to return the vehicle after use, of course.
Yeah, totally. Of course.
Yes. Yeah. It travels. The projectiles travel quite slowly.
Yeah.
And I don't think they programmed the lead and trailing pips for the targeting properly.
I don't think they work well at all for it because when the pip says, "Yeah, you're good at fire," it should hit nothing. So I haven't actually flown using them enough to actually determine where exactly the pip needs to be, and of course that would change depending on what you're shooting at.
Mm.
But it's weird. I mean, of course everything is iterative and subject to change, and eventually you will get something that works. Right now I think it'd be best used when paired. I mean, like if you had something like Saber, in which case you have like 4 gun slots anyway. It'd be good paired with 2 other like repeaters that you know you're gonna have direct hits on, with the
Mm-hmm.
odd AMRS shot when you have the target.
It
Otherwise, you're kind of
yeah.
waiting persistently.
Question.
Hmm.
Um, is there any differentiation between different types of weapons when it comes to shields and hull?
There,
Is it? I mean, it's in the lore and in the description, but
yeah.
is it actually in the game?
Hmm.
Because um, when I fly a saber, my
Yeah.
preferred loadup is all 4 panthers
Hmm.
fixed,
Yes.
and
The past.
those dispatch both shields and hull very quickly.
You see, the issue with that is that the saber is just chock full of firepower, and um, not all shields cover all sides. You have some ships and they only have forward and back. You have some ships that have forward, back, left, and right, those port,
Mm-hmm.
starboard. But even those ones, we don't have any ships at all right now that has top and bottom. So
True.
if
Yeah.
you angled it that way, then you mess them up. Uh,
Yeah, I know, but
yeah.
the Panther is an energy-based weapon,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be only useful against shields.
No, energy
No,
weapons at the moment are currently designed so that once the shields are down, they do even more damage than ballistics.
that's odd.
Mm.
Isn't it supposed to be that they're very useful against shields, but against hull they don't do much
That
damage? So
is what you would think.
you'd have to switch to ballistics to do actual damage to hull and armor.
That is what you would expect.
Yeah.
But unless Calyx has changed it since the last time that he was talking about this, which was a while ago,
Mm.
basically what it was is that he actually buffed like energy weapons so that they did more damage when the shields were down to deal with the fact that they had to take down the shields in the first place. But you're right in that that doesn't make any sense and that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess it's because the current meta, everyone's like, I must, fly a boat that only shoots lasers, or I must fly a boat that only shoots ballistics, when you really should be balancing them out,
Yeah,
as
exactly. I mean, as it comes to the saber,
mm,
you would have 2 ballistics and 2 energy weapons. So
yeah,
when you fire the energy to get the shields down, and then when the shields are down, you finish them off with the ballistics. Which is why the standard loadout for instance, for the Avenger is 1 ballistic Gatling gun on the nose and 2 energy. Well, for the Avenger, it's disruptors,
yeah.
but for the Gladius, you have Badgers on the wings.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like of course the vocal minority kind of always drives that thing forwards, and there are a lot of people on the official forums, no offense to anybody here. I didn't say anything to insult you. But like basically, if something doesn't go quite their way, they'll always be the ones who like, saying, "Oh, this is broken, fix this, change this, it doesn't work for me." And then you'll have like, the very few people who actually, spend hours and hours and hours in the game and saying, actually, that's not the case. It works fine. And then it's always going to be the vocal minority talking over the guys who actually know what they're talking about.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
what was the adage? It's very difficult fighting against a smart person,
Mm.
but it's impossible fighting against an idiot.
I mean,
Or winning an argument. There we go. Yeah, it's
yeah,
very difficult winning an argument against a smart person, but
yeah,
impossible to win an argument against an idiot.
yeah. I mean, there you have it. I mean, I know personally, I would love it if like energy weapons, strictly took out shields, letting
Hmm.
letting ballistics then do a hell of a lot of hull damage. But currently,
Hmm.
what happens is that ballistics get slowed down by shields, but they still do hull damage, you know. And right now, ship HP is little enough that if you went a full ballistic boat, you'd be able to destroy whatever vital component it is that it takes to blow up the ship before like the energy weapon would have taken on the shields to then destroy the ship. It's a bit rough right now, but everything is iterative. They have a whole team
Yeah,
now
I know.
involved in
Yes,
balancing.
but
So
would be nice if is there a design document in regards to this though?
I don't think there is a document that's kind of like open and available for people just to look at. I don't think,
Mm-hmm.
but you have people like Bayor of Red on his stream, and like you have other people who, you have Malagos from Renegade Squadron, and all they do is just like play the game, and they take these numbers from that have been given to them from CIG, and then they kind of like put them into practice and actually get numbers out of those to then say this is what's happening right now. And they release those documents, and then if you are interested in those, they kind of like help you form your opinion on the thing. But
right, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll be sure. Well, I'll attempt not to forget to include those links in the description below the video.
You're a politician now?
No. If I was a politician, this would be a bold-faced lie.
Fair enough. So yeah, what I would like to see with energy weapons would be something that is done in Star Trek and video game wise in a game called the Artemis Bridge Simulator, and that is with energy weapons something called phase harmonic frequency, which basically means that you have a shield that may be like alpha frequency, and that means that any weapon that has like alpha charge or whatever can do damage to it. And so you'd need to change the beta frequency to like basically protect yourself from it. And I might be getting this thing the wrong way around. But so what that would mean for in the verse would be like, let's say someone is running full badgers, then you switch to whatever badger frequency it is that you need to be able to protect yourself from that, and then your shield will then change red to represent being able to reflect that red colored weapon.
It's well, I don't know how it is, but I remember in the movie Star Trek, I don't know which one it was. I think it was yes, Generations. The Enterprise D, NCC 1701D, the Galaxy 1, the first Picard ship, was taken down because the Klingons managed to get a hold of the Enterprise's shield frequency, and it meant that the photon torpedoes passed right through them.
Yeah, and you see, as a science officer,
that's how the shield frequency works in the Star Trek universe.
Yeah, and as a science officer in Star Citizen, just sitting warming up a seat in a Starfarer or a Constellation, it would give you something to do.
Yeah. You would need to monitor how fast a shot, exactly money shot through Geordi's visor. Yes, you would have to monitor how each shot is affecting the shields, or whether it's not affecting the shields at all and it's hitting the hull directly, and that would mean switching the frequency to make them.
And it'd be made a bit easier. You'd have like a really easy version of Geordi's visor, given the fact that most weapons in the game have their own characteristic looks and sounds. So if you were to be shot by anything by Klaus and Werner, it's going to be red bullets, and so you probably have in mind the correct configuration to use.
Yeah, well, yes, but only if each weapon had its own static frequency from the factory. Yeah. And then if you scan the ship and so, this ship has Panthers, let's set this frequency, our shield frequency, to the frequency that protects against Panthers the most. Then it would work. However, weapon modification could let you change that. But then that wouldn't be something that's publicly available.
Yeah.
If somebody scanned you, they would know whether you have a stock configuration for your weapons or a modified one. Yeah. That is actually a very good idea.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it'd be nice to see them implement something like that, but also you kind of have to stop yourself, before you make it so it's quite realistic, quite in depth. But as a game, is very difficult to understand.
Exactly. And then CIG is beset by the whole thing. Is something realistic? Yes, but is it also fun to play? No. Cancel.
Yeah. So that was a long segue from discussions about the AMRS Pyroblast flak shotgun. We'll call it a flak shotgun.
Well, I only call it a flak shotgun because the things explode.
Yes, yeah.
Whether it hits something or not.
Yeah. Port modification is something else that came through.
Oh yes. Oh, that's very nice. Holotable's gone.
The holotable has gone goodbye. It's gone on a voyage. It's gone up the mountains. It's going to train, and it should come back stronger than ever before. But while it's gone,
we have the port modification system, and that lets you just walk up to a ship, face the component, and click, and then choose from a list of components that are compatible with that port. Also, which I think is a good thing and should not go away, it also lists the items that are currently equipped somewhere else, which the holotable didn't do, and you had to find the ship on the list, drag it in, go to the weapons tab, and drag the weapons off, and then go back to the ship you were modifying, and then go to the weapons tab, and then, that is good. It tells you this weapon is currently mounted on your saber, and then you just click it and it moves from the saber to whatever ship you're modifying.
Yeah, I feel like always.
Please don't remove that, CIG. Please don't remove that. It's so much better than what it was before.
Well, since it's functioning, I don't think they'd remove it. I don't think they're gonna. Anyway, it'd be weird. It'd be interesting. But the only thing it's currently missing, in my opinion, would be an actual inventory system. Not only for ships, so you have the ship name and all the components that are currently on it. That's not there. So with a larger ship with a lot of components, which you then go ahead and modify, you might lose track of what's where and exactly.
Yeah, but I think there should be a big port that accesses everything. I think that is what the new holotable is going to be. Yes, the holotable is only gone temporarily. The port modification is a temporary hotfix for it. Yes, it's gonna go back to it. You'll have the whole ship, and it'll have, just like in what's his name, Zenbien's concept, you will have lines going from all the components, and then making a list at the side of the ship, so you would know what's there and what's not.
Is it just me, or doesn't it just seem like two different ways of going about the exact same thing, though?
Yes.
I mean, we don't know what the finalized design of Holotable 2.0 is going to look like, but I guess if it's very similar to what the port modification system looks like at the moment, it might just be kind of like a more in-depth kind of version with, like,
or not of an, I wouldn't say, I think the port modification system is an in-depth version of what the holotable will be. It will be a more of an overview, the holotable. So you'll have the ship and you wouldn't have to walk around going from one port to another. And oh my god, is it impossible to change guns on a Constellation right now?
I don't have one now that they've changed the patch, and now I don't have access to those ships anymore. But even with the new kind of like distances and stuff for the port modification, are you still unable to find your guns?
No, you can change the guns that are on the bottom nacelles. But there's also guns on the top nacelles. Yeah. So how are you gonna get there?
Yeah, but in this patch, I mean, like, there's not like maybe 10, 15 meters now before, you can't see the pips anymore. And now they fade in, and they have crosshairs. It's actually amazing just how far port mod has gone from its initial avocado release until today.
Right.
It's
what I will
huge.
do, what I will do is I will do some recording of this in my hangar, and I will overlay it here.
Giving Darge more work. Yes, indeed.
Yes, for the YouTube video. So if you want to see what it's like, you'll have to watch this episode on YouTube as well. I'm sorry.
He's not sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Can't keep a straight face there.
Port modification is a very good thing. Although some things are broken, but of course they are, because it's an alpha. Just like what is it? The coolant in the Constellation, it's in one of the ladders of the cargo bay.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I guess it's not finalized. Otherwise, it's a bit weird, you know?
Right, yeah, like because we know they're supposed to be in the back.
Yeah, I can't speak for the manufacturers of Robot Space Industries, but yeah, they should probably be in the back. Must be some strange design choices or something.
Yeah, it's all which Chris is it again?
Pine?
Yes. His fault.
Okay.
Blame Chris.
Just
Hashtag blame Chris.
Blame all the Chris's. There's bound to be one of them.
Yeah. You know, they have enough Chris's. At least one of them is at fault for this.
Indeed. What else is there? I mean, there is port modification and the holotable's gone goodbye.
There's a few changes to the missions in regards to Outlaw and Protector, like I said before. I've been playing a lot of 2.4 with WTFosaurus, and his thing right now is to get a 5-star Outlaw rating, go to Post Korea, and shoot everybody who's not on his team.
Why not? That is his Star Marine. I mean, like, you've got to make gameplay what gameplay is not at the moment. You have guys out there who, you know, like, they can't get into Arena Commander, so they just kind of Arena Command wherever they can. Yeah.
Bang. And the gunplay is actually quite enjoyable when the frame rates are good enough.
When the frame rates allow, yes, indeed.
Yeah, if people, you know, refrain from spawning in 15 Starfarers and you actually have frame rates around 25 or 30 or maybe even more, then it is very good. Okay. But otherwise, lag, all the things.
Yeah.
We actually I think had it twice.
Yeah.
Twice in like 12 hours of gameplay. Yeah. But yeah, 2.4 is very fun. And I can't wait for the new netcode, which is going to get rid of the lag.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Indeed. And nobody knows. And nobody knows when and how far along it is.
Yeah.
Blame Chris. Yes, 2.4 is good fun, and it should hit live in a few weeks, I suppose. It's still there's still a lot to do, unless they're just going to release a buggy version, which I wouldn't blame them because it's still an alpha. I don't know why people expect such a polished product from an alpha.
Because people are people, and people will be people because they are people.
Right. Thank you, Sophie. We're talking about first person with Watafa.
Yeah. You're talking about FPS with Zorus and how he was making his own immersion gameplay by becoming a level 5 pirate and taking over Korea. I mean,
there's booze at Korea.
There is. You can grind money there. That is actually, a good segue there, actually. So, excuse me, that's the consumption.
Another reason why I'm not going to BrisonCon, I don't want to die.
I'm Conflu Patient Zero.
Yeah, you probably won't get well right up until BrisonCon. You will infect everybody there, and then when you come back, you'll be all nice, and everybody around you is going to be dying of whatever it is you got.
I intend for that. Yes.
Yes, there's booze at Korea. Technically, there are 4 bottles of booze in crates that respawn every 10 minutes, and you get 525 Alpha USC. And for those who don't know, Alpha USC is also something that is in 2.4.
Indeed, and it also carries over through the database through subsequent patches, unless they do have issues.
Unless they either intentionally wipe it or unintentionally, as was the case in one of the patches.
Yes. So when we do get persistence in on live, expect, unless something drastic happens, to retain your alpha currencies.
I do expect that for live they will wipe it. Just to
No. Yeah.
Just to put everyone on a
level playing field. Exactly. What I meant was that, like, when live comes out, expect that to be a feature that happens throughout subsequent hotfixes and stuff of live.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Although I don't think there really is much to do. Once you get, there aren't really, I mean, to be frank, there aren't many purchasing options. I mean,
well, there's clothes, there's guns, and there's armor. And just the armor can set you back 100,000 alpha UEC, so you're going to be grinding for at least a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that was like, there was like an artificial slope with the PTU, being that the fact that every single day, basically, there's a new patch, so your progress is reset, so you have to start again, get something else differently. You know, with live, that's not going to be the case. People like myself who stream the game every day are going to get to a point where we have everything, and very soon. You know,
right? So they will need to adjust the prices once they stop resetting everything. I think they will realize that everything is priced way too cheaply.
Yeah.
Or the rewards for missions and stuff like that are too high. So balancing will come into play.
Of course, yeah. Everything is iterative.
I think that at least fuel is going to have to be more expensive.
Yes, definitely. Speaking of fuel, nice segue again. I should stop saying nice segue and just segue nicely, but I'm... But yeah, speaking of fuel, something else that they only just recently implemented into the last couple PTU things is Prot Life ship insurance. So the first ever iteration of insurance, you know, with the caveat
that is something that is the thing I wanted to talk about when we came back from the interruption. Was the insurance?
Yes.
Basically, if your ship is destroyed, you have to either wait a specific amount until your ship is quote unquote manufactured again.
Yes.
Or you can bribe the manufacturer to give you one of the, to bump you up on the list higher.
Bribe, I like that. I mean, like, it seems more legit than a bribe, but at the same time, I would like to see where it goes, because I've seen this same model in things like Warframe, where like you buy something, but then you have to wait a period of time before you can get it, or you can pay money to fast track it. That's exactly what's happening with the insurance as it is right now. Now, how is this going to grow and evolve as the game develops? I mean, like, there's going to be lifetime insurance where you lose your ship and then you've got to wait a period of time before you get it back. But as long as your ship is insured, you're insured the ship will come back, but there's going to... Yes, for free, as now. But how long do you have to wait before you are allowed to get your ship back? And how much money would you have to pay to respawn it? I mean, like, because that all seems to be factored into this, like, really small demo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It seems like lifetime insurance just means you won't lose your ship, but you're still going to have to pay, like, alpha UEC to get your ship back if you don't want to wait however long, 3 hours, 3 days.
Exactly. It would seem that right now, everybody is regarded as having LTI.
Yeah. So I wonder how, as a game, a massively multiplayer online game, how long these times are going to be. I mean, right now, if you lose a ship, it's 5 minutes, or however, like with a Starfarer, it's 13,000 alpha UEC, or 5 minutes. To get your ship.
5 minutes.
Is it not?
20 minutes.
It's 20 minutes now?
It's 20 minutes for a Starfarer.
Wow. Okay, so it seems like the time has also changed for the Starfarers, which is good.
Yes. The time and price is different for ships.
That is good.
Depending on which ship it is. Yes,
that is amazing.
That is for I think just the latest patch right now.
Yeah, that is amazing, and I think the Starfarer should be moved up even more, in my opinion, just to stop, because they're 24 people. And almost everyone wants a Starfarer. You can have at least 12 Starfarers in a server. I've seen that many. I mean, unless that was a bug. And they cause the most severe, like, server crunches. So, like, in terms of frame rate, it's like... if you lose your Starfarer, if you're irresponsible, I mean, I don't care if you get shot, blink away, get yourself repaired. But if you lose your Starfarer, you should have to wait 1 hour, 2 hours to get it back. Maybe not 1 hour, because, like, the server itself might not survive an hour. But you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, as it is right now, time continues running for that even when you're offline. So I would
Yeah.
assume that those times are handled by another server whose only job is to handle those
Yeah.
respawn times.
What I would
So
like to yeah, sorry, go ahead.
even if the server times out,
Mm.
when you join another server, if you still have 20 minutes to wait,
Yeah.
that time would still be running, I would say.
In real time, yes. What I would like to see is the ability not only to call a ship and take it, but to land on Port Olisar and then retire it, so that it doesn't get blown up by somebody, and so you can go get something else.
Yeah,
That needs to be a thing.
that is actually a very good idea. Why isn't that in? I mean, you can respawn it, you can get into it, fly away, fly back, and then just wait, and nothing happens.
Yeah, because nothing will happen. It takes a long time for your ship to despawn, and in that time, somebody can steal it or destroy it.
Exactly.
Or steal it and destroy it.
And then you have to pay.
And then exactly. And then you have to wait and pay. So really, there needs to be, now that they have this insurance thing done, maybe it might be an oversight, maybe it's something that is going to be done later, but you need to be able to retire your ship and say, I've parked it now, it's safe. I don't want to spend 20 minutes waiting for a new Starfarer. I don't want to have to pay 13,000 Alpha UEC to veto that 20 minutes. I just want my Starfarer if there's space. I need to be able to tell Port Olisar I've parked my ship.
I think, well, they did say that calling up ships is not going to be something that's done through the central hub only soon, but every landing pad is going to have a terminal. So you can just walk up to a terminal and say, I want this ship. And then when that happens, I think that you would land, get out of the ship, walk up to the terminal and say, and see, pad A06, occupancy, Anvil Hornet, and then just say clear.
Now
and
you
then
see,
the ship,
that would
go
work.
away. That would make sense, and it would be a very good system.
Yeah, it'd be a good system for a game, but I feel like the reason why the Port Olisar ship deck was the way it was to make it immersive. You go to the center hub, you log into your PC, you're like, I want my Aurora, and then the ship's like, it's there. So you're like, where's there? So you look left, you look right, you say, there's a sign saying go there. But what you're saying is that, now they're going to make it so you just walk to the pad and then sign in there. And I don't think that if it was to be immersive or akin to something in real life, you wouldn't walk up to a pad and then sign in. You'd do it from the comfort of indoors.
Maybe, but when it comes to procedural stations, I don't think that every station is going to be as luxurious as Port Olisar. It'll have very basic accommodations and just one or two landing pads.
Yeah. I mean, I expect most, procedural stations to be more utilitarian and Spartan looking, like Korea, for instance. Because Korea looks very modular.
Right. Or, as Vengeful 1977 says, maybe it'll just be done via the Mobiglass, because they have been, expanding the Mobiglass functionality in the game with the port modifications app.
Yeah.
So, yeah, why not? Just start up the ship app. Let's call it the ship app.
Yeah.
And point yourself at the landing pad, and then say, I want my Starfarer here.
Yeah. The Mobiglass does make sense, because the Mobiglass is kind of like your every tool, right? You look at it and there's a scheduler, a journal, there is a place where you can modify your cargo, see how much money you have, your bank statements, verse book, that kind of thing. So I mean, I don't think it's actually called verse book, by the way. You know what I mean? Your friends list.
Yes. What is it called? Skyline?
Skyline. Isn't that the Mobiglass thing?
Yeah.
I mean, Skyline is the augmented reality thing for using your port modification system. I think that is separate from.
Okay. Right. Well, there is a Skyline button in Mobiglass.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see.
Or Skylane.
Skylane? I think it's. I don't know. I'd have to double check. Maybe you could. Like
Screenshot.
Yeah. Screenshot. Yeah.
But for it to be really immersive, they really need to do something about the landing pads, because ships aren't supposed to just appear there. They need to come up from a storage hangar or from a section of space that is set out to be a parking lot. But that's kind of stupid.
I can imagine like a cube, like a while off away from Port Olisar, but still visible, just like a parking station cube. And then like you land in Olisar, you press the button, and it flies into the cube because no one.
Yes, and nobody would be daft enough to fire a anti-capital ship torpedo into that. No.
Why wouldn't they fire it into Port Olisar? You know.
Because that's a lot more griefing to be done if you destroy everybody's ship instead of the station.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah.
Yes, you're going to be flying out of your hangar eventually, but stations will still be port of calls for some people. But what happens when you land at a station? We're talking about end game, final game scenario. Yeah. What happens when you don't fly to your hangar, but just fly to a station and suddenly realize, oh, I have to log off. What's going to happen with my ship? It's not going to stay on the landing pad forever. Something's going to have to happen to that ship.
Yeah. Like, in reality, suspicious packages will be discarded of and destroyed if left unattended. Same with your ship, I'm sure. But
no, I think in real life there's parking garages.
Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, like, if you leave your car there, doesn't it just get towed away and destroyed if it doesn't get claimed?
Well, yeah. And then what would happen then?
You lose your ship, lifetime insurance or not. I don't know.
No. Well, yes, you lose your ship. That's what happens to you. But what actually physically happens to the asset in game?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about end game and what happens to the asset, I doubt. This is just doubt. Even with subsistence, there's gonna be this guy, this NPC who's like, "Oh God, not another one," and then he like gets in your ship and goes, "The things I have to do for a living," and then flies away with your ship. I think it'll just despawn,
Yes. Okay. But if we're talking persistence, something has to happen. Where do all these ships go?
I'm guessing again a station which you can't enter, but you can hail and request.
Yeah, so
that way,
a valet system. Yes, but it is quite an unelegant way of doing things.
But it's clean.
It is clean. Yes, and it's probably at least easiest to transition to from what we have now.
Yeah, because that way the ships will be able to exist without having to physically be there. They'd exist on the server the same way populations of planets will exist on the server, but it wouldn't have to be rendered and called because it's inside this station. The station and the server knows that it's there, but there's no point you going inside and looking at all these, ships and stuff.
Unless, they do a similar system to how the elevator in the Constellation goes.
Okay.
It opens up and then something pops up.
Yeah.
Could be something similar to how Elite Dangerous does it. You land on a landing pad and then it drops down and slots you in.
Very similar to how parking garages work in Japan. Like they're just
exactly. And then you could potentially say nobody knows how many ships there are in the station because those assets would be hidden. They wouldn't be rendered anymore.
Yeah. I mean, like somebody mentioned that, you'll be able to, you're going to be able to fly out of your hangar. Now, my question to you is, where is your hangar? Your hangar is not on Port Olisar. Port Olisar uses I can't remember the acronym now, but Port Olisar uses this valet system to say your ship is being called from somewhere else to somewhere else. Yes, you'll be able to go to your hangar. Yeah, you'll be able to fly your ship out of that hangar, enter some cityscape, and then leave and whatever. But where is that? Will you be able to choose that? And once you take your ship to Port Olisar, where is it going to go? You're going to have to be able to retire it somehow.
Yes, I think that, for me, the best way for it to be would be, a ship, the landing pads would be mechanized to hide the ship. And then once the ship is hidden, I'm not really bothered with, the fact that I've seen, 50 ships go into the space that can only hold maybe 3 ships and nothing's happened, I wouldn't be that bothered
It's
with it.
gonna be
But
pretty
ships...
awkward when you see like 5 starfarers go into the same hole.
Yeah, but not as awkward as just having them appear, blink
yeah.
into existence.
Yeah, I suppose if they come from a far enough distance, like maybe 10 kilometers or something, so like, you can see a pip coming, and then, you see them growing larger and larger before they get there. And then you could like just attribute that to like, kind of like waiting time and immersion, I mean...
It'll be interesting to see what they finally decide on. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
But these are nitpicky things. They have a lot more problematic problems to deal with.
Yeah. A lot of back-end
for now.
stuff, yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, but what about, so looking to the future, what is next? So...
What's happening in 2.5, for instance?
In 2.5, well, if we're going on this very random schedule, whatever thing that was listed by CR back when on, I think, Bad News Baron's guest stream when he was there at CIG and Chris Roberts was talking about things. Most of the stuff he was talking about before is here, but he mentioned something about, for the moment, there will be temporary heads, like male heads, female heads, so you can customize until you can do the whole customization things a la Fallout style. Another thing they mentioned, I mean, like, should we talk about these things and then like build upon them, or should we talk about them and move on? I mean, like, because just...
Well, I think right now we should just do what we do and just wing it.
Loving it. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah. Okay. So okay, then I'll stop there with the heads thing. So the head customization is cool, for male characters, which are currently established, right? Like
you only have the cis white male.
Yeah, yeah. and then like
patriarchy.
What?
Nothing. Yes. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, like you have the heads, and so it wouldn't be too bad. But then you also have to think about the female heads, because yes, you'll have the female heads. It'll look a bit awkward on the male bodies, just a little bit. And then with the female heads and the female bodies, then comes the cassava outlet. Cassava outlet right now is a bit rammed. So how are you going to have... I mean, like, people are like, oh, well, like, women should be able to wear the same clothes as men, and men the same clothes as women. Well, I mean, like, clothes in real life don't fit on you the exact same way as clothes in a game, because they all have to be modeled separately and stuff like that, So it's kind of like besides the point. So I'm just thinking, where are those clothes going to go? Because right now in Port Olisar, I mean, like, you have a small Kasaba outlet with a small selection of clothes. But like, what is there going to have to be like a Kasaba male, Kasaba chic, Kasaba ? Kasaba? Like on a different pad. I mean, like, how is that going to work? I mean,
no,
like,
I think it's just going to be magical form-fitting clothes.
But how is it going to be magical form fitting? It's the same reason why they mentioned you wouldn't be able to change your body size and height and stuff like that because of the limitations of the engine,
Well, yes, limitations of the engine, but you have limitations of the lore and 30th century technology, which is basically that clothes fit everybody. Because you have magical... Let's not say magical, but you have very advanced nanofibers that scan your body's physiology and then, make the sleeves the right length and width and everything. So
but that's working under the assumption that the clothes work that way and the clothes aren't this kind of like...
I think that is exactly how clothes work.
In real life, but I don't know how they work
in the game. In the game,
oh, yeah?
I think that's exactly how the clothes are working. That is one of the reasons why it's taken so long.
Right.
And when you have the female body, which is going to be a female body, they will just be able to apply the layer, which is the clothes, to that skeleton, and it will automatically adjust itself to fit.
One would hope so. I really do. I really hope you're correct, because otherwise it's like they have to make a whole new range of clothes and stuff like that, and it'd be
see, because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You would remake everything
it'd
again.
be a lot of work. Yeah.
exactly.
Otherwise you'd be like, sorry, but girls can't wear that shirt because we only made them for men. Because I don't know, get off my back. But yeah. So
but at least that will allow me to wear high heels and a corset and stuff like that when we eventually, of course, get
Of
to
course. Yeah, because
and fishnets, of course.
who doesn't want to be a fearsome pirate in his black and red EVA suit and heels?
Mm.
Like almost like a xenomorph, actually. Just thinking about it, like a skin tight black suit with heels. Because xenomorphs have heels, if you haven't noticed. They're very sexualized. They are very sexualized. The actual artist is, yeah, they got phallic heads and high heels, and the way their bodies are, they're sexualized. But anyway, enough of that. I was watching a documentary about this and like the reason why they are how they are, and just the artist's background and stuff like that. They come from a very very strange place, the xenomorphs. But anyway, that's completely random.
Yes, let's get back on topic, please.
Yeah. You're welcome. So 2.5, the space station, the pirates' space station.
Yeah. Which some speculate is going to be actually Gold Horizon.
You think?
Yeah. And I also think that will be the only place where you'll be able to buy outlaw armor from then on.
The scrapper, brawler, that armor, the red stuff.
Yes, yeah, the red stuff.
That'd be interesting. The red stuff. That would be interesting, actually. It kind of give you a reason, a motive to go there in the first place.
But just going back a bit, do you think you'll be able to change your face in 2.5?
In 2.5, I mean, with what I was talking about, those are very, very basic, kind of like no customization, but the ability to customize yourself.
Yeah. Just pick one of the preset faces. I think it's 6 males and 6 females. Or is it 8 and 8?
You know what I think? It might be 8 and 8. You know what I think? Go to ArcCorp. Go to the hospital. Go to the front desk. Book an operating theater. Lie on the table. Pick a face. Yeah! That's how it's going to work. How else is it going to work in Star Citizen?
Well,
how else is it going to work?
That's how it works in Fallout. If you want to change your face, you have to go to a plastic surgeon.
Oh, yeah? I haven't played Fallout 4. Oh, yeah.
You should. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
But well, we have seen 2 faces. 2 male faces so far. 6 still unaccounted for, and all the female faces. But it would be very nice to have add a bit more variety in 2.5, because right now in 2.3 everybody wears the same thing.
Yeah.
Everywhere. 2.4 is very nice because you have people in a white flight suit, in a black and gold flight suit, in a beige flight suit, and then you have the brawler armor, the Achilles armor, and you have people walking out of airlocks in t-shirts and shorts and dying because, they forget that they're in civilian clothing and not something that is made to withstand the harsh reality of vacuum.
Yeah.
Like the both of us have done many times.
Every other hour, or less. Yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Yeah, I mean, so right now you can customize yourself, but if you look closely, you're still all the same kind of clone man. So hopefully you'll be able to change your face and stuff, so you'll be less of the same clone man and be different clone men, so more Cylon family as opposed to Agent, from
Good reference. So will you be changing your face to the black man we saw in the People to Planet?
Well, I never. Oh yeah, I suppose so.
If it's the only black dude,
yeah, it'd be more immersive, Yeah.
I really don't know whether I'll be playing as a female or as a male. I think I'll try both.
I made a vow a long time ago never to play a female character again, but
really?
I don't think now is the time or the place to discuss that.
Well, alrighty then. But yes, I think we've rambled far too long already for this episode.
Yeah.
Apologies again that we weren't live yesterday, as schedule was odd, let's to say the least.
Sorry.
Yes, but thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for checking us on YouTube as well, because there's extra content on YouTube. So if you're watching this on Twitch, it's Wednesday, come check us out.
Exactly. On Twitch, you're not allowed to do stuff like be topless, but on YouTube, Darren, because he's just amazing, like, you'll be able to watch him completely naked. There'll be segments where he like just juggles his nipples. Have you seen a person juggle the nipples before? Well,
yes, they are detachable, and I've been practicing a lot. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the verse.
All right.